There's one thing what we often experience. I think women know that for sure. I think also men can experience that. It is when we have, because of different reasons, it can be many reasons why we have this pattern, or why there is this desire or this craving, or even addiction can be to that, that we want to feel love, that we want to feel oneness through someone else, through the warmth and the love and the melting of a protective mechanism of the other person, and then we melt together, and then we feel this love flow, right? And I had an experience lately where I got really strong reminded on me as a little child, always sitting on the lap of my grandfather, who was in 2 world wars, who was in prison during the World War II in Russia. And he was not a follower even from the Nazis. I feel like mentioning that, because when I heard that, it made me really proud that he, I mean, that would be a longer story right now, but he was, after the war, he was, the people who were Nazis, he didn't allow to come in his house. And there was a big family drama, because he said, these are not anymore coming in my house because he's a Nazi. I don't want his whole family in my house, they are Nazis. That was after the Second World War. I heard that from my mother, because she was not anymore allowed to play with some of her cousins because the parents were Nazis. However, my grandfather, I loved him. And when I was a child, I was sneaking on his lap. I was always cuddling him, kissing him. I still remember how that felt. He died when I was 16, so long time ago. And I remembered how my body felt when I was sitting on his lap, and when his tension of his muscles and his firmness started to relax, and he got this softness. And then there was a warmth. I was a little yeah, something like that, or yeah, you know, like a little of that happening. This was for me this and it was so interesting when I remembered that feeling, and I had this beautiful reflection of how, as a child, the innocence being just wants to feel the love and the oneness, and it comes not from a pattern, I guess. I mean, who knows if there are other patterns, but at least at that human, right, in that moment as a child. And yeah, and I wanted to share that because for me a lot of insight came through that, how I enjoyed that as a child, and how beautiful that was when the shield from my grandfather melted and there was this flow of love, and how as an adult I can see that in different ways showing up. And how can I, you know, when I know I have my own shield, I have judgment, you know, I want something different than it is. How I can also sit and be loving to that shield inside of myself, so love and oneness can flow again internally. And how beautiful that is, and how empowering that is, having this awareness that what I see in the outside of craving the love, or craving this flow of love with someone, and then how I can hold my own inner shield when I notice it, and how I can enjoy when love is flowing there fully. And it came through this reminder with my grandfather when I was a child, through that felt somatic experience. Yeah, and I felt like sharing. Maybe someone of you resonates.